YouTube has gone minimalist, and I think I understand why. I think I get the method behind their madness. I don't like it, but I think I understand. Yeah, I'm sure everyone on YouTube by now has realized that there's some major changes on here. I have had quite a few real serious glitches, making it very hard to watch many videos. And the videos that would play would skip horribly, and commenting was extremely hard. Those glitches seem to be fixed, but still I do have trouble playing the occasional video, and I have a lot of trouble reading personal messages that are very long. And it is almost impossible, if not impossible, to reply to those. I have to go to that person's channel and PM them a reply, which is, of course, irritating. But yeah, they've messed everything up again. I didn't like what they did before because it made it too... Everything was too... Before it had a more organic look originally. And then what they did recently, 2 months or so ago, is that they made everything look more boxed in. It was a less interesting look to me, but I adjusted, okay, and now boom, big change again. Now, I'm not usually one to complain about little things, you know, but it is frustrating. I would be a lot more frustrated if I was a partner, because from what I understand, there are people who do make a living as a partner on YouTube. They actually get enough views that they make enough money off YouTube, they can do it full time. That's awesome. That's one way to do it. Make videos, have fun, and get paid for it. It's like being an actor or a sports player or anyone else who does something they enjoy. That's great. Those are usually entertainment channels. I could probably do the same thing if I really want to. Not sure. It takes a lot of energy. You need a lot of spare time to be entertaining, or some kind of boost of some kind, because, you know, to be on the ball like that all the time. Anyway. So yeah, if I was a partner, I think I'd be pretty pissed, because you'd be, in a business sense, in bed with YouTube, and then they go and destroy it. They have stolen the look from Facebook, which is pathetic. That is what a small, struggling, new, and unimaginative, cheap competitor site would do. How are we going to look like that we're important, that we've got a good site? I know, it's just rip off Facebook. It's just very minimalist, simple, easy little design. We can do that. You know, for a site that is very big, and I would say for online, well respected, to go in and to abandon its original and very popular design to rip off a ridiculously minimalist design from another popular site is pathetic. I mean, it's almost like an executive at CNN suggesting to the board, I know, why don't we redefine the very image of CNN? Let's take away all the props and just have the reporter standing in front of a big white screen, and for the credits and for all the the words and the images that come up, before and after credits and all of that. For the style of the show, we'll go for a PBS style, a minimalist kind of PBS kind of style. Now, if I was an executive proposing that to the board, do you think that would get me promoted or fired? Sometimes you have to wonder. This is what YouTube has done, and it just seems crazy. Not only is there a lot of glitches here, and not only am I really annoyed with the thumb up and thumb down, which means that large channels are going to get a lot of thumb ups. I'm not going to say thumbs up, because it's not thumbs up. It's thumb up or thumb down. So they'll get a whole lot of thumbs up, meaning more than one thumb up, a whole bunch, where small channels will get fewer, which will make them look like they're better sites. I mean, instead of before, where you'd have a video that was very popular, or meaning that it had a lot of views, but it might only have like a 4 average star rating. Now it's going to have, because people aren't going to be able to put 4 stars or 3 stars, they're only going to be able to put just thumb up if they like it. So in other words, these big channels are going to be able to drown out this little guy a little bit more. I mean, when I do video search, I go with ratings under the search, just to kind of root through the crappier videos to start off with the higher rated ones. I look through, and it's easier to find better quality videos that way. Of course, that's not to say that if a video is not high, rated, that it's not a good video. It's just that it makes it a little easier. But that means that, now when I search, I get all these big channel videos that aren't necessarily better, but they're more popular, so it drowns out the little guy. Now, why I say I'd be pissed off if I was a partner, because this would look good for partners right now. I'm sure a lot of them really like this. Oh, right, drown out the little guy a little bit more. But I think I see the direction that YouTube's going into. They're trying to take advantage of their position to become, basically, the online television. I see this. They have channels, after all. And I read somewhere, I wish I could find the link, but I read somewhere that they've been speaking with different corporate powers and saying that we want to be considered part of the corporate community. Apparently YouTube feels a little bit isolated. I think that they don't want to say it, but I think they're a little bit embarrassed by the amount of freedom of speech that goes on here. And there's a pride. I mean, it's like, from my understanding, the Beverly Hillbillies, for example, was like the most popular TV show in its day. And at the height of its success, I believe it was yanked off the TV because new people came along, took over, and they didn't like the higher class being poked fun at, So it was a class thing. You see, pride comes into it. Everyone thinks that these business people are only interested in money. No, it's pride. It's pride. And but money too. I mean, like I say, I think YouTube is seeing a huge opportunity. Television has been kind of coming online in different ways, but it hasn't been in a really successful way yet, in my opinion. Definitely not. I have to say that as a fact. Definitely not. And so YouTube, I think, feels that they're in a unique position to essentially bring television here. So I think what you're going to have are channels brought by corporate interests, to sell different products. I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, it's like the music video. They first started like back in the 60s. Like the Beatles would have music videos back in the 60s. And it wasn't until the 80s with MTV that finally the real vision for it was realized. So this is new. It's hard to say. I don't know what exact direction they're going to hit into. But I do think that they're going to bring bigger and bigger, more and more corporate powers into having their channels and having a little bit, not probably heavily funded, but, somewhat decently funded channels, videos, with splashier effects and whatnot. And, so for example, you might have a comedy channel where you have professional comedians that are being paid to do it, so they're trying harder. You've got actual people who are funny, who are having their lines written for them by other people who are funny. And so for all the partners on YouTube who think that they're funny, as we all know, a lot of these big YouTube channels are not all that funny and witty like they think they are. That's what I'm saying. If I was a YouTube partner, I'd be a little bit pissed, a little bit scared about what the direction that they're heading into, because it's not just the little guy, us. It ultimately, in my opinion, from what I can see this going, it's going to be the big channels, the entertainment channels, especially on YouTube, that are going to suffer the most. Little channels like mine are going to survive, in my opinion, for a while anyway, longer than those big entertainment channels, because they're going to be drowned out by corporate entertainment channels that are going to come along. They're going for a simplistic design because they have big plans for YouTube. I don't have any inside information. This is just, conjecture on my part. So, but just based on the changes and based on some things I've read, I just think that this is the direction they're heading into. I think they're really going to try to bring TV here. And already, with the playlists, they changed that because so many people complain, but for a while there, they had your playlist just playing automatically, one video after another. And it would annoy the hell out of you because you're used to looking at a video one at a time. And you see what they're trying to do here. It's very obvious. So yeah, they're trying to make couch potatoes. Eventually it will lead to censorship, big time. Because you got corporate interests who will feel the sting of controversial channels saying things that they feel they can't for legal reasons, and being insecure and wanting to play the game, of course being the big players, and they'll be offended by some of the things that little guys like me will be saying, and so censorship will come in a big way, and then guys like me, channels like mine, will be gone. But it'll be one step at a time, and it will work if people support it.